What up? I'm B. Welcome to my channel where we talk about all things current events and YouTube drama, but we do it in a way that is fair and as unbiased as possible. We try to look at the big picture and just kind of be rational about things. And my first few videos and my last few videos, I guess I should say, have been all about YouTube drama, kind of disagreements going on between influencers. More recently, Brooke House's return to YouTube. And so that was the focus of those. Today we're going to focus on something a little bit different. But before we get to that, I just want to say we're making progress on the blanket. I know in my last video about Brooke House, I said, let me know if you like this, if you like crafting with me and just hanging out, or if you would prefer a little bit more of a formal sit-down, direct conversation video. So that applies to this as well. That continues. I like the feel of just kind of like hanging out, adult sleepover with like the mom or the cool aunt of your friend group who knows how to do crafts and will like buy you shots but also make you drink water afterwards. I like this vibe a little bit better, but again, let me know what you would prefer because I like them both, but I'm trying to get this done before winter, so we gotta keep it moving. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that is not so much YouTube drama, but it is a problem with both people on YouTube and people like Instagram influencers or podcast influencers, and this is a problem that is happening everywhere, but I find it especially problematic within the manifestation community, and that's MLMs, the promotion of MLMs, the recruiting of people to MLMs, the just general acceptance of people being in MLMs. And it's bad enough on its own. Like, there are so many videos, and these are kind of like my favorite videos. Kiki does them, where she does like anti-MLM rants, and she'll go through and like research and find coaching calls and just talk about how damaging they are. And I love them. Like, there's so many people who do videos like that, and I love them all. But I think first and foremost, the more people who make videos about MLMs, the less people will fall victim. Like, the less people will be easy targets to join these and potentially ruin their lives. And I haven't seen anybody talk about them in relation to influencers in the manifestation world. And this is a problem because there are so many influencers who just casually talk about joining an MLM or being in an MLM and, joining that, becoming a salesperson, owning your own business by joining an MLM as a way to achieve your dream life and as a way to achieve financial freedom. Like, there are so many of them who either were in MLMs, like that's how they got started being influencers and being like big names, is because they were in MLMs. Or there's some of them who talk about it as in like, I've never been in MLM, but if you are in an MLM, if you own your own business, like, this applies to you. Like, they do coaching calls. There's one in particular, well, there's a few people in particular that I'm talking about, but recently a podcaster that I listen to who her main focus is not manifestation, but it is very clear that she believes in manifestation. Like, she talks about it. She's had people who are in that world like come on and talk about achieving their dream lives. So this isn't just people who are strictly like personal development manifesting influencers, but that they're connected. So one girl specifically was talking about how she was on a coaching call with an MLM group leader, and telling her ways to take her business to the next level and encouraging her to share that stuff with her team. And there are also other influencers who will say, like, that's a way to do it. That's a way to quit your 9-to-5, to stop being a cog in the corporate machine. And there are other influencers who are actually, like, directly involved with MLMs by going to the conferences, by attending the conferences, by giving speeches at the conferences, and, like, will give shout outs to people in MLMs in, like, on their Instagram feed on a regular basis. So, they do that, and then they also will, like, have courses. Like, a lot of personal development influencers have courses that you have to pay for, and they are targeted for people who are either in MLMs or they own their own business, or it'll say, like, taking your business to the next level, but it's really targeted to people who don't own their own business. They're just in an MLM. And that's, like, a problem for two reasons. First and foremost, MLMs do not work. They don't work for the person that they are targeted for. The whole idea is, like, anybody can be in an MLM, anybody can be successful, anybody can become a millionaire if you just join this MLM and you take my advice. But these business opportunities don't work for stay-at-home moms or college students. Like, they are successful for people who either, one, already have a dedicated social media following, and a large and a dedicated social media following, or two, people who are salesmen, like people who are natural born salesmen or who have worked in sales before, who actually know what they're doing. These companies, this business opportunity, this job does not work for the average new mom who is by herself and, like, is looking for the opportunity to work from home, like, raise her kids from her, like, and work from her couch and spend as much time with her kids as she wants. That's not going to work. These MLMs take so much time and dedication and money and effort, and it's really predatory to say, like, you can do this, like, you can make sales while you're doing your homework. No, you can't, because you got to focus on the sale, So that's the first reason that MLMs do not work. They are not for everybody, even though they are targeted as being for everybody. They say you can do an MLM while you have a full-time job. You can do it while you're a mom. Like, don't you want to stay home with your kids and work from your couch? It's basically a part-time job, but you can make as much money as you want. And it's just not true. Again, MLMs are successful for people who are very gifted in sales. They're gifted salesmen, or people who have a large and dedicated social media following already who will buy from them. So that's the first reason that I think it's wrong, especially for people in the personal development world, to push MLMs. And not even push, just to support MLMs. That's the first reason. And, I wanted to give some stats on that. I found this study. I will link it below. This is why I have notes, because I wanted to make this point before moving on. There is a guy named John M. Taylor, PhD. Dr. Taylor went kind of undercover and joined an MLM for a year. And he, like, compiled all of his findings, put together all of his research, and he made an ebook about it. And his findings are posted on the FTC website. But I got this information from thebalancesmb.com, and I will link it down below. But like I said, these MLMs, like, this job is not successful. Like, average people are not successful in this type of job or career or setting. An average of 99.71% of participants lose money in an MLM, first and foremost. Second, in the first year of operation, a minimum of 50% of representatives drop out. After 5 years, a minimum of 90% of representatives have left the company, and by year 10, only those who are at or near the top have not dropped out. So it's safe to say that at least 95% of representatives have dropped, have left the company, have decided not to continue with the MLM in any way, shape, or form. Like, if you look at the facts, that is wild. People, and just like I said, in general, anybody promoting an MLM or supporting an MLM, I disagree with, and I think it's wrong. But especially for people who are supposed to be helping you live your best life. Like people who say that they are business coaches, personal development coaches, manifestation coaches. Those people encouraging MLMs and pushing them and saying that they are a way to earn financial freedom to leave your 9-to-5, to create the life of your dreams. They're wrong, and it's wrong for them to do that. 50% of representatives drop out in the first year, and you can say, okay, well, that person, it just wasn't the right fit for them. They didn't do what they needed to do. They were bad at the job, whatever. But after 5 years, 90% of them have left the company. Like, that's not long-term sustainable success that is going to help you achieve and maintain your dream life. It's just not. And then the last fact I wanted to share from Dr. Taylor's study is that he estimated that it is, like we go back to the first fact, an average of 99.71% of participants lose money in an MLM. Not only that, but he estimated a total of $25,000 worth of expenses per year. So not only are you losing the money that you have already invested in this, that you have put towards buying your starter kit and like getting the materials, like, because you have to buy the stuff, you have to buy your stock and then you sell it. So not only are you not making money on that, you're losing money on that, you are also losing money trying to recoup that money, because that $25,000 was for products, phone, internet, giveaways, computer supplies, advertising, incentives, and travel. He, like I said, Dr. Taylor joined an MLM and worked it for a year to get all of his findings. And isn't that nuts? You're gonna spend $25,000 on a business that you are losing money on. And I get it, like, small businesses cost money, you have to put in money, like even regular hobbies that you don't make money on, like it costs money to get the materials to do them. And so it's like, oh, well, it's like you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your business by keeping up your appearance and by going on these vacations and by buying these luxury things and by giving away products. But it's, one, not your own business that you are completely in control of, and two, like they say, you're gonna make money right away. You can make as much money as you want. It's unlimited. It just depends on how hard you want to work. Like they basically say that you're guaranteed to make money on an MLM. But not only are the majority of people who join not making money, they're also spending $25,000 per year trying to do things that are going to make their business grow so they can finally turn a profit. And this is without getting like a small business loan, because if you own your own business and you are creating your own business that truly is yours, you go get a business loan, you get investors. Like very rarely is it going to be 100% your money that you have saved up. Like especially if you're trying to do a brick and mortar store or selling a product, like stuff like that, you can get a business loan. You can have investors, you can have benefactors. Like it's not solely your money. And with MLMs it is. They'll encourage you to like take out credit cards to keep your stock up and to host parties and to travel to keep up the appearance that you're living the best life possible when you're not. So that's ridiculous. So that's the first reason, again, people in the manifestation world pushing MLMs, bad for 2 reasons. Doesn't work for regular people, and 2, if it does work, if you are coaching somebody in an MLM on how to become successful and encouraging them to use manifestation, and like even if you're a business coach or a personal development coach telling them how to improve their business or improve their personability, how to talk to people, whatever it is, if they take your advice and it works, you have just helped somebody scam somebody else. MLMs are 100% predatory, they are cliquey, and they can lead to financial ruin. You know, we've already talked about the financial part of it, how you're not going to how you're very unlikely to make money in an MLM. But if you watch videos of people who have been in MLMs and left, so many of them say, like, I didn't get support from my upline, which your upline is like the person who recruited you, if you're not familiar. So you're their downline, they're your upline. So many of them said, I didn't get support from my upline. My upline was really aggressive. My upline was constantly telling me, like, did you message 10 random people today and invite them to join or invite them to buy your products? They didn't get support from them, or they were mean to them, or while they were in the company, they noticed these cliques of people who would like make fun of other, you know, if it's like Beachbody, other coaches, or like beauty advisors, whatever the job is, if you're within like It Works or like a health coach or whatever it is, they would make fun of other people working for the MLM in these cliques, in these group chats with your entire team, or they experienced their upline being incredibly harsh and rude to them after they left, after they decided that they were no longer going to pursue this. A lot of people experienced like gentle bullying from their upline. So it's not just like people were upset that you left. People are mean to you when you leave, and they can also be mean to you while you're in the MLM trying to better your life. So it's just wild. Like, it really is. And so, like, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about. Like, MLMs just aren't great emotionally. They're really not. People are cliquey. They can be mean. They encourage you to do some pretty unsavory things. Like, I'm gonna link Kiki Chanel, her one video that she did for Unique, where she talks about how they have this retreat for people who experienced sexual abuse as a kid, and the guidelines to getting in are ridiculous. It's like you can't have any signs of trauma, you can't have gone to counseling in the past year. I could be wrong about that. I could be misstating it, but she goes into all of it. I'll link it below. And so it's just really like slimy tactics. It's preying on people who are vulnerable, which are typically like new moms who are lonely, who don't have other mom friends around, like single moms, people who are in college, people who've lost their jobs, people who are like going through a hard time. I've seen like essential oil people being like, oh, well, you're like someone in your family is sick, have they tried oils, you know? And it's not funny. It's just so ridiculous that it makes me laugh. I apologize. But so that whole thing is wrong, but mainly it's wrong because manifestation is supposed to be used for the highest good of yourself and others. And so if somebody in the manifesting world, personal development world, is encouraging you to join an MLM or trying to help you get better at recruiting and succeeding in your MLM, that's kind of directly going against that. you're not supposed to do things that are going to take advantage of others. You're not supposed to do things that are going to cause harm. And you can't always predict it. You can't say that, like, you know, you gave somebody solid advice and they took it wrong and now it caused damage. Like, MLMs, like, that could happen with other things, but MLMs are proven to cause damage to people's lives. Their bank accounts, their money status, like their credit scores, it is proven to cause damage. And so that is the main thing about why it's not okay that people, like manifestation influencers, talk about MLMs. But it's also not okay. Wait. That's the main reason that it's not okay. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it and kind of bring it to light and put some facts behind it is because, like I said, there are a ton of people who are big on social media who are either manifestation coaches, personal development coaches, business coaches, overall coaches for women's success who have been in MLMs or openly support MLMs. So this is mainly for people who are new to the manifestation world. I want you to be leery of these types of influencers. So many of them, so many of the ones that I still follow and I still take their advice were in MLMs, and they openly talk about it, and they're like, yeah, that's how I got my start, and you know, if you're in it, here's what you can do, whatever. I don't listen to that. Just because somebody was in an MLM or promotes them doesn't mean that they don't have good advice. Like, they will still have good advice, or they'll have good manifestation techniques or tactics that you can take and you can use. But I want to encourage you to be leery. Do not take everything they say as like a negative gold that should be cherished and placed on an altar and worshipped. Like, just because some of what they say is good doesn't mean everything that they say is good. And I also want to encourage you, because a lot of people in this sphere have courses or retreats or challenges that you have to pay to be a part of, and when they're pushing that, be cautious. You know, people who were in MLMs, if they used those tactics and were successful, it's likely that they're going to continue to use them even if they're not still part of that MLM. So that's the thing, is like, don't fall into the trap of thinking that any influencer is right all the time or right about everything, or you should listen to every single thing they say. That's really the main thing. I wanted to talk about it because I think it's damaging to promote MLMs and to encourage people to join MLMs, but I also wanted to put this out there for anyone who is new to the manifestation world. And if you know me, like, you know that if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I have a main channel, Inside the Honeycomb, where I talk about mindset, manifestation, and self-worth. But I like to take a very like practical approach to these amazing things and amazing parts of life. And for me, if I wasn't aware of all of the damage that multi-level marketing companies cause, I think it would be really easy to fall into the trap of, oh, well, I love manifesting. It started to work for me. It's brought really cool things into my life, and I love this influencer, and she says that that's what she did. That's how she started. She creates courses targeted towards people in MLMs, and she says that it's a way to achieve financial freedom. It would be very easy to fall into that trap. So, enough rambling. That was it. I just wanted to bring awareness to it for people in general, but especially people who are on any sort of personal development journey, or are learning about manifestation, are curious about manifestation, or are just in love with it and just new to the scene, new to the sphere. But that was it. Thank you so much for hanging out and crocheting with me. We're getting there. It'll be finished in no time. But that is all I have for today. Again, please let me know down below if you like crafting casual conversations, or you would like or if you would prefer just sitting down, having a direct conversation, direct chat, more like structured, because I like doing them both, but like I said in the beginning, I'm trying to get this done, so that's what we're doing. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any experience with MLMs or the damage that they did to you or somebody you know, please leave a comment down below. Like I said, as much information as we can get out about the damage that these companies cause, the better, because the more information is out there, the more likely somebody who is considering joining an MLM is to stumble upon it and realize that it's probably not the best path for them. Other than that, I would love it so much if you would like or subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much if you have subscribed already. It means a ton, and I'm just really happy to have you here. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one. Bye.